On Monday, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar directed the Privileges Committee headed by Deputy Chairman and JDU MP Harivansh to investigate the disorderly conduct by 12 opposition MPs that had led to multiple adjournments during the first leg of the budget session. All through Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 85-minute address, the opposition kept raising slogans which Sansad TV, that does the live telecast of the proceedings, blacked out. The camera did not pan towards the opposition benches. Earlier, acting on a complaint filed by a BJP MP, Mr. Dhankar suspended Congress MP Rajni Patil for allegedly recording the proceedings on her mobile phone. The Congress cried foul that due procedure had not been followed and that she had not been served a notice giving her a chance to explain her position. Mr. Dhankar interjected the speech of Congress President and Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, 88-minute speech during the motion of thanks to the President's address several times. The opposition has protested their chair's repeated direction to authenticate remarks made during speeches. Mr. Kharge has pointed out that it would be an inversion of the system of government if the opposition members are expected to carry out complete investigation, gather evidence, and then raise the matter on the floor of the House. 6 portions of Mr. Kharge's speech were expunged from the Rajya Sabha records, while Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's Lok Sabha speech got 18 cuts. Parliament is the platform where the opposition has the responsibility to ask questions of the government, which the Council of Ministers has the responsibility to answer. There are parliamentary rules and norms that have evolved over time to achieve this objective. It will be a travesty of parliamentary democracy if the opposition is penalized for seeking accountability from the government, which in turn is allowed to hide behind rules and obfuscate the issue. It is the government that is in custody of all the information over which queries are raised in Parliament. The authenticity or the lack of it of any assumption that an MP may express in the House must be clarified by the government, which is its duty. It is a strange situation that the government has not responded to the serious allegations that it faces of protecting private business interests at the cost of public interest, while those who are raising the questions face suspension in the name of discipline. Parliamentary discipline must ensure that discussions take place and the government provides the answers. The Employees Provident Fund Organization (EPFO) has not acquitted itself well by issuing a circular on higher PF pension at the fag end of the 4-month period the Supreme Court had allowed in its November 2022 judgment. This time period was given to members of the Employees Pension Scheme (EPS) of 1995 who were in service as on September 1, 2014 and whose employers had made PF contributions in excess of the statutory ceiling, which was rupees 5,000 up to May 31, 2001 and 6,500 up to August 31, 2014. But the EPFO took its own time. The court, using discretionary powers under Article 142 of the Constitution, had granted these members the 4 months, which it called a further chance, as 2 opportunities had been provided in the 2014 amendment of the EPS. The court's rationale was that it found uncertainty as regards the validity of the amendment quashed by 3 high courts, and that the authorities' interpretation of the cut-off date had come in the way of eligible employees exercising the option within a maximum period of 1 year as stipulated in the amended scheme. Unfortunately, the latest circular is not comprehensive. Eligible employees would need additional circulars to be issued before they can make their decision. And all this needs to be done on or before March 3, the court's deadline. A member's expression of consent involves their willingness to allow the transfer of money in the members of individual PF account to the pension fund, which is pooled fund. Such a decision cannot be taken in a hurry, as such a transfer would mean hiving off a substantial portion of lifetime savings.